Student, myself Raman Shukla from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Dear student, in this video we are going to read chapter 3rd of class 6 SST. Dear student, our today's topic is motions of the earth. Now we are going to start the chapter. Dear student, all the planets in our solar system, including the Earth, rotate on their axis. They also revolve around the Sun in their orbits. The two major types of motions of the Earth are called rotation and revolution. With the help of figure 3.1, you can understand this. This blue line is the orbit of our Earth, and this figure also shows us the rotation and the revolution of the Earth. Now we are going to know about the rotation of the Earth. You might have seen the sun rising in the east and setting in the west every day. However, it is the earth spinning motion from west to east. The reason behind the rising and setting of the sun is depend on the spinning motion of earth, that is west to east. Remember it, spinning motion from west to east, that creates the impression of the sun rising and setting. This motion of the earth on its axis is called rotation. One complete rotation takes 24 hours or one full day. The period of rotation is known as the earth day. It's clear available what is earth day and what is one full day. It's clear. Now we are going to know about from a distance in space, the earth seems to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction from west to east. The rotation of the earth explains why places located in the east have sunrise earlier than those located in the west. As the earth rotates, the speed of the motion is constant and you move along with it at the same speed. That is why you do not feel the motion of the earth. Dear student, this is a big question for us. Why we not feel the motion of the earth? So the answer is also clear, because our earth is very broad. That's why we not feel the motion of the earth. Now we are going to know about the effects of rotation. Day and night. The earth axis makes an plane angle of 66.5 degree with the plane of its orbit. What is orbit? We have already discussed. This plane is called the orbital plane of the earth. Due to the earth nearly spherical shape, at any point of time, one half of it has day while the another half has night. This is because as the earth rotates, one part faces the sun, has daylight, while the opposite side, which is away from the sun, is in darkness and experiences night. This daily movement of the earth is called its diurnal motion. The imaginary line that divides the day from the night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. This circle does not coincide with the axis in figure 3.2. This is figure 3.2. In this you can see the circle of illumination. Dear student, what is the globe? The globe is the 3D image of our earth. And what is the circle of illumination? It's also clear. Circle of illumination is an imaginary line that divides the day from the night. Now we are going to know other effects of rotation, that is tides. In Hindi it's also called Jwar Bhata. Tides are another effects of the earth rotation. If one lives near the sea coast, the rise and fall in water level at different times of the day is visible. Dear student, if you are the student of coastal area, then you can see the periodic rise and fall in oceanic water. This is also called tide. And what is the reason behind it? Then the answer is, listen carefully. When the moon is directly overhead, its gravitational force pulls the water in the oceans and cause water to rise. I repeat it. When the moon is directly overhead, its gravitational force pulls the water in the oceans and causes water to rise. This is called high tide. Dear student, tide is further divided into two types, high tide and low tide. When the ocean's water rise, this is called high tide. When the moon is furthest from the earth, the water level recedes. This is called low tide. The movement happens twice a day. This movement of high tide and low tide, it happens twice a day. It's clear, everybody? Dear student, now we are going to know about the another motion of the earth, that is called revolution. The movement of the earth around the sun is called revolution. The period taken by the earth to complete one revolution is called a year. One revolution is made up of 365 days. Remember it, it is very important for you. And listen carefully. 365 days, 6 hours, 9 minutes, and 9.54 seconds. Usually, we consider the period of 1 year to be 365 days. The extra 6 hours is 4 successive years are added together that amount to 1 day, because 6 multiplied by 4 equal to 24 hours. 24 hours equal to 1 day. So after 4 years, we get a year with 366 days instead of the usual 365 days. Such a year is called a leap year. Dear student, what is a leap year is clear, and it is the method to find out any year is leap year or not. Then if you divide that year by 4, and if the year is devised, then that year is a leap year. Dear student, now we are going to know about the effects of revolution. The first effects of revolution, it is seasons. In general, there are 4 seasons. You know very well about them: spring, summer, autumn, or fall and winter. As the earth orbits around the sun, its axis always remains tilted at 23 and half degree in the orbital path. This is also known as inclination or tiltation of the earth. The degree of tiltation is 23 and half degree, and you remember it, 23 and half degree. This means that as the earth revolves, the northern hemisphere faces the sun for half of the year and tilts away from it for another half. It also means that different locations on the earth face the sun at various times of the year. This constant inclination of the earth on its axis combined with the revolution of the earth causes different seasons. Then what is the causes of different season is clear, everybody. I repeat it, the constant inclination of the earth, and that is the 23 and half degree. This constant inclination of the earth on its axis combined with the revolution of the earth causes different season. When the northern hemisphere faces the sun, it receives direct sun rays, so it is summer in the northern hemisphere, and winter in the southern hemisphere. On the other hand, when the southern hemisphere tilts toward the sun, it gets direct sun rays, so it has summer, while the northern hemisphere has winter. The earth orbits the sun in an oval or elliptical path, so the distance between the earth and the sun varies during revolution. Dear student, what is the causes behind the changing of season is clear, and now we are going to know about the elliptical part of the earth. Distance between the earth and the sun varies during the revolution. During revolution, sun, our earth is closer to sun in January and it's further to sun in June. Now we are going to know, we can understand it with the help of figure 3.4. With the help of this figure, we can understand the position and the distance between the earth. Now we are going to know about the equinox. Firstly, we are going to know about spring equinox. On 21st March, the sun is directly overhead on the equator, so every place on the earth has 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night. Mean to say day and night are equal. This is called the spring or vernal equinox. Next, as the earth moves on, the northern hemisphere tilts more toward the sun and experiences summer. Now we are going to know about autumnal equinox. On 23rd September, the sun is overhead on the equator again. On this day, the northern hemisphere has autumnal and or fall equinox, while the southern hemisphere has spring equinox. Now we are going to know about the solstice. Summer solstice. On 21st June, the sun is overhead on the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north. Dear student, Tropic of Cancer passes through our country. This is called the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. Because of the tilt of the earth axis, the circle of illumination does not pass through the poles. Remember it, this time, circle of illumination does not pass through the poles, and the places north of the Arctic Circle have 24 hours of daylight. The sun does not rise or set on these days, but circles around just above the horizon. On the other hand, places beyond the Antarctic circles have 24 hours of darkness. This is the longest day in the northern hemisphere. It is also very important for you. 21st June is the longest day in the northern hemisphere, but the shortest day in the southern hemisphere. Now we are going to know about winter solstice. Since the earth keeps revolving, the rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Capricorn on 22nd December. Dear student, on 22nd December, sun overhead on the Tropic of Capricorn. For example, this is passed through Australia. This is the longest day in the southern hemisphere, but the shortest day in the northern hemisphere. It is summer solstice for the southern hemisphere and winter solstice for the northern hemisphere. On this day, the Antarctic Circle have 24 hours of daylight, while the Arctic Circle have 24 hours of darkness. Now, varying length of day and night. You may have wondered why the daytime is longer in summer and shorter in winter. This is because of the inclination of the earth and its axis. During summer, a large part of the northern hemisphere remains inclined toward the sun. So there are longer hours of daylight during summer. In contrast, a large part of the southern hemisphere is away from the sun, experiences longer hours of darkness, and therefore has longer nights. However, the areas around the equator have 12 hours of daylight throughout the year. You can understand it with the help of figure 3.6, equinox and solstice. Thank you. Now the explanation of the chapter is completed. Thanks for watching everybody.